Hey friends, welcome to Life Made Full. This podcast is centered around business, faith, and family, three areas that are dear to our heart. If you are a business owner in ministry, own a family business, or you have a family, join us today around our family table to discuss these topics and more.
It's live.
Welcome back to Life Made Full. We're so glad that you're here joining us today on this podcast. What are we going to talk about today? I always say that every time, and this is not script, so it literally is what are we going to talk about today. I always start it out. It's always me starting it out and just kind of like opening the gate wide and just let it flow out. What'd you say?
I said you're the lead. I just told you that.
I know. We were just discussing this.
Well, I think if anybody's listening to our podcast, they've realized that. So you're
realized what?
You're going to be opening up indefinitely.
I know. I'll say, you open it up today? No. Yes. Well, okay. All right. So let's talk about some small business things that maybe we can cover. Is that cool with you guys? I know the last couple we've talked a lot about
spiritual warfare.
Oh yes, that is my lane. I'm sure most of you know that. I could talk about that every day, all day long, because it's real for once. See, you just opened it up. All you gotta do is just open it up. I will run with it. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about some small business. Let's talk about small business in general today. Okay, let's just do that. And I've got some things that I would like to personally talk about small business, but I want your take on it's no pressure.
I know.
No putting you on the spot or anything like that. And we probably talked a lot about our humble beginning. Have we talked about that? I mean, honestly,
yeah, we have. But I mean,
the podcast, I can't remember what we talked about and what we didn't. That's why it's always important to tell the truth. Then you don't have to remember what you said. You always, that is, who said that? Oh, that was Loretta Lynn that said that. And I love that. And so I always say that. So let's talk about a little bit about our humble beginnings, what that looked like as an entrepreneur. We've talked about that I personally believe, and we don't have anything, that either you're born you have that entrepreneur DNA, like you have that gene in you, or you don't. What is your take on that, Chrissy? Do you believe that?
I mean, I think that you're definitely born with some kind of
drive, grit.
Maybe not born with it. Maybe just your childhood like experiences and stuff create that in you.
You think so?
I mean, that would be probably my opinion on it.
Where do you form that opinion? Where does that come?
I don't know.
You just
I'm trying to think. Well, with you, like, do you necessarily think that you're born with it, or do you think your childhood experiences
made it, created it? I honestly think that we're born with, So
you don't think, and without getting, because obviously that's your story to share, but you don't think that your childhood made you not, because entrepreneurs, I feel like they just have this grit about them that they're not going to depend on nobody for anything. They are going to make their own way regardless of their situation, regardless of whatever hands that they've been dealt.
I still believe that we are, I don't know. I just believe we have that in us. What's your take on that, Dallas? Because I'm going to go back to that, because you just brought up a good point. I want to bounce off that.
Okay.
I think everybody is. I mean, I think you're born with it.
Why do you think that? Because some might say
because the success story is usually the person that, they always win. So, you may not be given the best opportunities, but you always
stay on top.
You always prevail.
You're always on top.
And then but then there's people that are born in the wealth too that just take over their family's business and lead right over to what it is too.
Absolutely. I think when you said, Christy, that, childhood sometimes that can play a part in it. It could. It could that you say, I am going to break whatever that is. I'm gonna break that. It's gonna stop here, which we could go down the whole path right there, Douglas.
Yeah.
We could go down the whole path of breaking, generational curses off of your life that's been passed down. So I guess it could be either or both. And if just both. So
Yeah,
typically the most successful people, though, like even athletes, things of that nature, the best of the best, they have some they have grit about them. They've had a broken past of some way. And that's what they're living off of. Whether that was somebody telling them they couldn't do it, or you'll never be a good basketball player, or you'll never be a successful business owner. And just that fire and determination that people have, that lights something behind them.
Yes, which you just made me think of. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Which somebody asked me, somebody commented on one of our podcasts that they were watching about who was it that just took the Ohio State? No, not Ohio State, the Bengals to
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They comment and they said, you really don't know anything. Like, that's legit, isn't it? Like, you're not playing. Like, you know absolutely zero about football. I said, I really don't. But oh my gosh, is it Tom Lewis? Tom Lewis. Do you know who Tom Lewis is? No, this is legit. Like, Google
Is he
that.
a football player?
Yes, he's retired. Tom. No.
Brady.
Look it up. Your dad knew exactly who I was talking about because I read his story. It will give you like chills. His story will. I think it's Tom Lewis. Look it up. Let me see. Let me see my glasses. Is that it? Let me see.
The golfer?
No. He was number 52. I know he was number 52. 52.
Isn't that Al Bundy on Married with Children? Paul Kai?
I don't know. He is a retired football. Oh my goodness. Look at it. You got to. Now this is going to drive me crazy. And if you're watching this, you might know it. Put it in the comments before we. I know it was something Lewis. Something Lewis.
Oh, you're talking about Ray Lewis?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Put in 50 Jersey. Put in Jersey. Is it Jersey? Is there a thing called Jersey?
Yeah.
Yes.
52. Put in 52.
I mean, but there's
Ray
several.
Lewis.
No.
Who
Let me
did
see.
he play for?
Wait,
Do you
what's
even
his
know who
name?
he
What's his
played
name?
for?
Who's that? Who's
Patrick Willis.
that? No. We're gonna find. Anyway, all right. Just when I'm telling the story, you can take. Okay.
Do you know who he played for?
No, I don't.
Dude, you were.
So put in 52. We have no idea if he.
And you're sure it was football?
100% positive. And your dad, I asked your dad, and he knew exactly who I was talking about. Of course, it's been several months ago, so I probably had the name right. Something Lewis. But his story is this. People ask him, how did you do it? Whatever he did something phenomenal. And people ask, how did you do it? How did you do it? And this was the driving force, kind of what you said, behind his success story was this. He grew up in an abusive, I believe it was his stepfather was abusive to his mother, or his father was one of those. Please, did you find it?
No.
Please find it. It's going to drive me nuts. You got to find it. Either his dad or his stepdad was abusive to his mother. Mm-hmm. And he walked in, I believe he said he was 12 years old. He walked in and his dad was, beating his mother. And he was so small, he couldn't do anything. Mm-hmm. And so what he did is he ran out to the garage and he grabbed a deck of cards And every time he would flip that card down, whatever it landed, if it was a 7, if it was a 9, he would flip one and he would do 9 push-ups, flip another one, 7 push-up, flip another one, 8, whatever it was, until he got through the 52 cards. And so that was, and so what where he was going with that is he did not want his pain to not have purpose. And so his success it wasn't because of his, obviously but his success was because that he found a place that he could turn that pain. And so he would flip that card every time, flip it. And he said he did that throughout his career. And so he can always mark the place where it started. And did you find it?
No.
Okay, type in.
It is Ray Lewis.
I told. See,
I said Ray Lewis a minute ago, and you said no.
I
It
did.
is Ray Lewis.
I said Ray Lewis.
No,
No, you
you said
didn't.
Tony Lewis.
You
or
said Tom.
Tom Lewis.
Tom Lewis. Ray Lewis. Yes, Ray
He
Lewis.
said Ray Lewis.
I said Ray Lewis.
Oh, I
I said,
didn't.
Ray Lewis, because
Yes.
But
Okay, do you know him?
yeah, the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, Baltimore Ravens.
He's not a fan.
You're not, but his
No, I'm saying I'm not a fan of him because Bengals fans, we hated Ray Lewis.
but
He
his
was a
story
good NFL
is
player.
of course, because you want to know why? Because there was a force that was behind him that he was going. So he turned that pain into something, and that he left it there, man. He left it there, and so that's why his jersey is 52 because of the deck of cards 52. So just in case anybody didn't know that, which I'm sure sports fans know that, but there was more to it. There was more to, but that was just a condensed version of sometimes, your success, there's something that drives you behind that. And I know for me, there's multiple reasons. And one day I will share the whole story on that. But what did you ever hear that story?
I've heard it.
The deck of cards?
Well, that's what was striking my memory as you were saying it.
All
But
you
I
had to
said
do
Ray
is
Lewis
set the
in the
cards.
beginning.
Well, I said Tom Lewis.
And you said no, so then you had my brain turning.
Oh my gosh, listen. That is something that just brought back to, I was watching something the other day, and how that you can, even though you knew, this is Ray Lewis, but I had you questioning what you knew was true.
Yeah.
That could be a whole podcast right there.
Tom Lewis. Tom Lewis, if you're out there.
I'm so, Ray Lewis. He'll never probably watch this. And you probably will never, maybe we could tag him because his story was, Ray Lewis, your story is powerful. And it hit me right there. His story, it hit my heart. So anyway, you got that pulled up? I got some.
I had it.
This is his phone. I've got some, he takes all my stuff and makes stuff with it. So he has a lot of stuff in his folders. And I said, pull something up. I need to say something. Pull this up. And he said, trust me, you do not want to see any of my texts. And you do not want to see anything that comes through on my phone. I said, I gotcha.
Get random stuff from my friends all the time.
So I said, I'm tracking with you on that. I will not. I just need. Oh wait, where are we at here? Hold on a second. Say something. I know there's power in silence. Sometimes, but
Silence is golden.
sometimes, not all the time. All right. I want to get to the entrepreneur thing I want to talk about. All right. Let me get there. Okay. I can't find it. You guys got me sidetracked right now. Go ahead, say something, Christy. All right. I found it. All right. And then cut in at any time. Okay? Cut in at any time. All right. This is what I want to say. And I don't think we've ever talked about this on the 3 questions that you got to ask yourself before you before you start a business? There might be more that comes to me, but this was just random questions. To ask yourself these questions: what will the outcome of my business decisions of today be in 5 years, 10 years? And you always, we've said this multiple times, you always have got to think with your end in mind. Where do I want this to be at in a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Where do I see this going? And when you act, and we're going to go through these questions, when you ask yourself these questions, where do I want this end game to be? What do I want it to look like? The number one thing, especially if you are a cleaning business owner or in the service industry, number one thing, I don't even think that's in here, but number one thing that you've got to make sure that your business is not 100% hinged on you. And what I mean by that is it cannot be hinged on you being physically there every single day. Let's unpack that just for a second. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll just
yes, because I have a lot to say.
Well, with what you were just saying, going back, setting goals, monthly, yearly, those can even be weekly, but you got to make sure that you set realistic goals.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I said your end game. Where do you want yourself to be? Like speaking to the heart of the
that's
entrepreneur.
essentially goals.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm just saying it differently.
Absolutely. And then if you want to break those down, yearly goals, break them. I tell anybody that I coach, they know this. If they're listening to this, put in the comment, yes, she has said that 1,000 times to us. If you do your yearly goals, you've got to check in on them quarterly. Like you got to and break that yearly goal down into 4 quarters, because what it does is it makes it more actually attainable. Because you look at let's just say your yearly goal is 100K. You're saying I'm going to bang out 100K this year. Then you're going to break that down into 4 quarters. Well, it seems much easier if you break that down in, okay, it's $25,000 a quarter.
250,000 a quarter, right? Not 25,000. Oh no, I'm thinking of $1 million.
Okay.
My bad. I
wasn't trying to. I
had the million. I had million on my mind. Never mind.
Well, we can go there. I mean, I literally
Sorry.
no. You're. I knew. That's why I was like looking at you like catch up, Douglas.
I had $1 million on my mind.
Which I do map out. I map out business owners to the $1 million mark, especially in the cleaning industry. That is like the ultimate, like everybody wants to get to that 1 million. They feel like, and since I have been coaching many cleaning business owners, it's almost like that is success to them. If I can just get to that $1 million mark, and I can map you out there 100%. But that is not an easy task. And that is why I believe it's only 2%. I believe it's like 2% will ever get there. And so what I do is I break that down to every benchmark: 250, 500,000, 750, $1 million. Break it down. And that's with any business. Just break it down. That's what you were doing. You were breaking that down. Mm-hmm. So if you're saying 100K, then break that down into 4 quarters, 25K every quarter. And then you've got to, okay, what does that look like every month? And if you even want to break it down to per day, and that's what I do for some business. I'll break it down. This is what you got to be making a day. Let's just say this is the amount of product that you've got to be selling every single day if you want to hit here. And so you got to think with your end in mind. Where do I want to be at? And if you're in the service-based industry and it's hinged on you, then in 5 years, you're going to have a much harder time rerouting than if you would just went ahead in the beginning and set that foundation. I know for me, I can speak because I've been there. Mm-hmm. And you always, you want to find, people say this, well, how do I know what type of coach to pick? Which we're totally sidetracking, but it goes right along with this. People say, I don't know. Do you know how many times that I've remained silent? That's the one time silence is good. I have remained silent when I see other business owners. Don't get me wrong. I think that coaches, I believe that everyone has something to offer. That's not what I'm saying. But when you are looking for a business coach, a life coach, or a spiritual coach, you want somebody that is a few steps ahead of you, that's already been there and says, no, this is the way you need to do it. Because that's what a business coach does. You don't want to, you don't do that. It doesn't work. And I'm going to save you a whole lot of headache because I've already tried that and it don't work. I've already took the bloody knees for you. You will fall down. Don't do it. So you want to find somebody that is ahead of you. Don't find a broke person if you're trying to get financial freedom.
Seasoned.
Good Lord. Don't find if you need somebody come into your business that you need coaching on employees, well, good grief. Find somebody. If you've got 20 employees and you're going to find you got somebody coming into your business that has 4 employees. Oh my Lord. What is wrong with that picture? Think about that.
Well, but that's a whole nother subject too,
I know.
because they could have 20 employees for just to say they have 20 employees.
Oh yes. And that's
what I was, when I was going to,
Lord Jesus, we could go on a
when I was
whole
gonna
rabbit hole on that one.
interrupt you earlier. That's what I was going to say. $1 million is the end game for most cleaning companies, but how they get there is usually completely wrong, because in the end game, they're only making like $60,000 a year because they have so many employees and so much product,
overhead,
and so much wasted time and payroll.
Exactly. That is 100% the truth. And I know this is true. So it doesn't matter if you're like, if your end goal is, okay, I'm going to be $1 million business. But as the business, and I can tell you what $1 million business owner should be making. I can tell you that. Mm-hmm. And most are not making what they should be making. And that is because they're overstaffed. They have no systems in place. And we teach simplicity. And I know that in the world of business, sometimes it seems the more systems you have in place, the more spreadsheets you have in place, the better your business. That is 100% broken. That is not the truth. And if you are wanting to have a turnkey business, and I have been saying that since I came on the scene 4 years ago. If you want to have a turnkey business, you better structure it where it's not hinging on you, and you better make it as simple as possible, that if you go to sell it one day, which we've structured our business to where we could sell it, we know we could sell it. Mm-hmm. So we could teach somebody to come into our office with the simplicity that we teach. That is a turnkey business. A turnkey business is not somebody that you have to come in and they're never going to understand your chaos. They're never going to understand that. That's not a turnkey business. Turnkey is you can teach it, turn the keys to them, and walk away. Mm-hmm. Your wheels are spinning.
Mm-mm. No, I'm just listening.
Taking it all in?
Yep, just listening.
So ask yourself that question. Where do I want to be at in a year, 3 years, 5 years? Mm-hmm. And if you are not willing to commit, if you're not willing to say, okay, because it's going to take, I say this, it takes 5 to 10 years to get something off, like really off the ground. Mm-hmm. Like stable. And people just want this overnight. And I know that social media tells you that it's going to be like that. That's not reality. And so if you want to build a business that's going to be around for generations to come, because that's what we're interested in.
Yeah. We're
not interested in the microwave. Like we're just going to pop it in and we're going to walk away and then it's ready. That's not what we're interested in, because that's going to fade away. We're interested in building something that's going to be generations to come. And so if you're not willing to ask yourself that question, can I commit to this? I asked a business owner this a couple years back. I was coaching her and I said, you got to ask yourself. And she said, I don't think I'm willing to commit to this. Mm-hmm. I actually don't even like what I'm doing. She was actually a cleaning, but she's like, I actually don't even like, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to commit. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, then don't waste your time nor my time. Don't do it. Because when as a business coach and you're imparting, that is very exhausting. Especially when you pour in the way that we do. We're not just after this. And I know a lot of business coaches, they're just after your money. That's not who we are.
But a lot of people would listen to this and probably say the same thing.
What?
Well, how, like, did you have passion in cleaning? Was you passionate about it?
My stomach just growled. If anybody just heard that, yes, that was my stomach.
They absolutely did not.
Okay. What? Yes, I love cleaning. Do you think I love cleaning?
I mean, I'm sure.
I don't know if you love cleaning. I know you love the. I'm not saying that you don't love.
No,
cleaning. I'm just saying that. I mean, I know you love the competitiveness.
That
of it.
maybe that's. But I do love cleaning. I mean, put me in a bathroom any day, and
but I'm just saying, like, probably the majority of cleaning owners probably don't love cleaning.
No, but this particular business owner, it wasn't that she didn't. It was It was no at all.
I was just gonna say, like, most people, if you get into a business that you don't think you're passionate for it, then you can find passion. You can find your passion. You can find the passion
if you're making money.
That, but I'm just saying, like,
if you start making
maybe
money,
the labor part of it probably, I mean, obviously that sucks about it, but you can find your passion in it. Like, if
true
for somebody that's cleaning, it may be helping that mother that can't clean her house, so you might get your passion out of that, and the labor might stink of it, but then you find your passion doing it that way.
Serving.
Yep.
I agree with that. I agree. Probably in my beginning, I mean, Lord, I was 23. I'm
just saying, because a lot of people hear that so often, like, find something that, you're passionate at. You have
then you'll never have to work a day in your life.
And yes. I do agree with that.
I do too.
But sometimes your job, it's not fun, It has those times, and people probably question why they're doing it.
Well, I think, too, it's, like, I've heard you even just recently, guiding somebody on if you can put an end date to it, then you can, more or less make sacrifices. And so basically how you're saying, like, to keep your end in mind. So if the whole goal is to eventually hire out somebody to run the part that you hate doing.
Yes.
It's like, if you can just put an end date on that and commit to it, for, as you say, 5 years, and say, well, but, eventually the goal is to hire this out.
Yes. Then
again, it's just lining up with what you're saying with keeping your end in mind and different things. So just putting that time frame on it for sure.
Absolutely. And that's funny you said that, because I was just thinking that, everything I done in our cleaning business, I literally done it in phases. Mm-hmm. It was all phases. And the problem that I see is everyone is so quick to get out. I mean, I can only speak for our industry right now with the business. I won't even talk about the coaching, but like, they're just like, I went out of the field.
I think that does relate to most businesses.
I know they don't want, and you miss building your foundation because you don't want to be present. What you want is the financial freedom that comes with that business.
But you're losing. I mean, you're losing money by paying somebody.
Well, that's what. Yes, that's what I was about to say. Yes,
like, it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Into your
profit. Yes, and totally dismantle up here. If you're a cleaning business owner, that your profit is your pay. That is not true. And I know you've probably been taught that, and I know you've probably heard that at the end of the day, whatever the profit left over, that's the owner's salary. No, that is your applaud. That is your tip. That's your bonus. Your salary needs to be built in just like everybody else's. And you still should have your salary and be profitable. Both both, because I've met with so many business owners, and their profit was what they got at the end. It was let's just like the crumbs at the end is what you got left over. And obviously there's books out there, Profit First, there's all these books, but if you don't apply them, they're useless. If you don't apply knowledge, it's just falling on deaf ears. What was you going to say?
I was going to say, but what about the entrepreneur that thinks that their time is better spent
building the business? And you hear that too. I mean, you hear that. I'm working on my business, not in the business.
Well, but I guarantee you they have some downtime.
Oh,
that's if you at any point have picked up your phone and are on Facebook and you're saying that, or you're watching TV, then you had time.
This is what I say. And that is why I'm not everybody's coach, why you're not everybody's coach, and is this. Because I'm not going to tell you something that's going to tickle your ears and make you all feel good. That's just not how we do it. Mm-hmm. We're going to tell you the truth. 100% every time, all day long. And I can only tell you that in the beginning, everything you do has got to be in stages. It's just got to be in steps. It's just like a baby, a newborn. Everything they do is in steps and stages. And so for me, everything was just in phases. I was the cleaner, and then I went to the quality manager, and then I went in the office to eventually I was no longer in the office. The business just ran, and we have structured the business so sound. It's almost like not even real how sound it is. Mm-hmm. So,
and sometimes you don't like.
I know. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yes.
I mean, it is a difficult thing for you.
It's very difficult because it's seamless. Now, don't get me wrong. You're always going to have problems.
Let's talk about that.
I mean, you're always going to have some. I mean, that's just life. That's just business. That's just part of the territory. But I always say this: 50% of those problems you can reduce. You can reduce by what you do.
Well, I feel like in the growing, like one of the things for the growing is, it's more money in growing by not hiring an employee and you just taking care of it yourself. But the other part is not dealing with the employee that you would have had to train.
Oh, yeah.
Not show up and
thousands of dollars.
The mental stress that person would put on you rather than just doing it yourself.
And not just hiring a warm body, not just hiring, I'm just going to hire this person, even though your instinct is 100%, they're not going to work out. They're going to be gone. Do you know that the statistic for the cleaning industry for the average employee to stay? I don't know. Have I shared this on here? 3 months. I didn't give you time to.
I was going to guess 6 months, but
no, it's 3 months. And why is that? Obviously, and I'm sure that's for I would just about guarantee that's for any service space. The restaurant and any lawn care, like any service space. I believe probably the employee retention is very, very, very high. What I want to say to that is this.
It's structure.
Well, yeah.
I think that's the one because structure kind of leads to everything.
Uh-huh.
Any broken problems you have is going to come from structure.
That's right. 100%. And it all starts with you. It all starts with you, the business owner. You set the tone. You set the pace. We lead by example. And so building this foundation, which is going back, and can I be committed? Building the foundation, that takes time. And I always say, I'm coaching somebody right now, and I told her we're tearing down her foundation to rebuild it. Phenomenal business owner. Let's just say this. She is almost about 650,000 is where she's about. Nope. She's actually new. She's about 650,000. We're actually going to be going to her business. You don't know that.
Give me a date, dude.
We're actually going to be going to her business. But however, so we are we're completely tearing down her foundation, because it was not built the right way. It's chaos. She knows it's chaos, and she wants to build this the right way. So, like,
yeah, and not to interrupt you, but let's talk about that. How hard it is.
don't tread softly.
No, I was
No,
going to
I
say
know what you're saying.
how hard it is to restructure it and get everybody on track to get the structure running right. And if she would have just started the correct way,
Absolutely.
it's going to be so much harder for her now,
Yes, which
because all of her employees are going to be embedded into that culture and that structure of
Yes,
the way that
yep.
business ran.
Yes,
and
yes.
getting them on board for that is
Yes.
always hard.
always. Well, change is hard.
Yeah.
Change is difficult. And so which, by the way, we need to shout out Jobber. I'm getting her on board, getting everything converted over to Jobber. She's using something else, and we're like, nope, we're not. You're going to do this the right way. If we're rebuilding, we're going to do it the right way.
Yep.
So we got her all ready on Jobber right now. Anyway, something I was going to say to that. Repeat what you just said, because there was a good thought.
I was talking about restructuring. Like, you want to start. It's easy. It's easier to start
Yes.
with your business in the right structure than restructuring it at like 650,000
I
when
know.
you're already,
it
when you're
is.
already success.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I can't. It floated back to me. It floated
It probably
back
has
to me.
nothing to do with what I was saying.
It really don't.
Of course not.
No, I mean, it really does. Well, when this particular business owner reached out to me, this is what I told her, because I'm very particular, or we have been very particular this year, 2022, who we work with. We don't just work with everybody. I know a lot of coaches out there, they do. We do not. Here's why. Because I can teach you, Chrissy can teach you, Doug can teach you all about marketing, Chrissy can teach you all about her lane, and I can teach you all about mine. But until you're willing to make the changes, it will never work. Mm-hmm. It will never work. And so you've just spent your money. You will not see any ROI on that. And you're going to say, well, I didn't like that.
That was a waste.
That was a waste. Yes.
I'm going to try a different coach out.
Don't even get me rolling on that one. Roll.
We're going to.
Don't get me rolling on that one. I could say a lot on that. We could like, yes.
Just buy into the gimmicks and the mascots.
Are you going to, why be ordinary when you can be a maverick? I'm raising up. I'm telling you, I'm raising up some mavericks. The women that are like, I'm telling you what, it's a whole, like when they come out of my coaching, they have this confidence, not only confidence in business, but in their life, and they're more confident in who they are in God. So you put all of those three together, I'm telling you what, they walk out a maverick, a true maverick. Anyway, what was I saying? Good Lord. Whoa. This particular business owner, when she reached out to me, I had a conversation with her, and I told her this. I said, I'm very choosy now because I can be. This is not my, like, I'm not counting on you signing up with me. God, I can't even do it. I can't even say it because it's a dog. Let me just tell you, it's a dog eat world out there with all these coaches. I'm telling you, it feels like high school stuff. Yeah, I said it. I had to get that out. I had to get it out. I got it out. I had to get it out. I said, for one, like we just said, you're not going to see an ROI on it, because if you miss one part, and I'm not just going to give you like I'm not just going to give you all of this, this big booklet and CDs and say, here you go. No, it's actually working with us. Like, it's actually working with us. That's our style. And I told her, I said, after it was about an hour. I told her, I said, I will work with you. And she said, I will apply every single step that you tell me. And she has, and she has made much progress. There's just, so I said all that to say this, that when you are looking for a coach, and let's say you reach out to us and say, hey, I'm in our messenger. I can't even keep up. And I'm not saying that. I don't need to say that. I can't even keep up. You reach out to us and say, I would like to learn more about what your team offers, because your coaching bringing a whole different dynamic. I cannot wait. If you have employees, I was just about to say you know something. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. His marketing is a game changer. If you reach out and say, yeah, I'd like to learn more about what do you offer? Do you just do cleaning business? No, we do not. Mm-hmm. What we teach is for the small business, because business in itself is business. But if you do reach out and say, yeah, we would like to work with you. We would have a phone conversation and we take it from there. And we don't work with everybody. You want to add to that?
No.
I know you got something to say.
I don't have nothing to say.
You don't have anything
Not right now.
at all? Is the phone, do you need to take care of, you got to handle some situations?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm okay.
All right. Anything you need to add to that? I feel like I'm not blah.
No.
And the more that we do these podcasts.
Why are you looking over at me?
I've always been bold. You said, Malachi said yesterday, that's Chrissy's husband, because Mother's Day, obviously. Yesterday is Mother's Day. And we were at Christie's, and Malachi said this. I know who's calling you. Malachi said this. He said something about what the Enneagram 8, you'll find this funny, is like a snow plow. Is that what it is? Like a snow plow?
Mm-hmm.
That what?
You already know.
A snow plow. And if you're an Enneagram 8, you will relate to this. It's like a snow plow that. Go ahead. What was you going to say?
Well, there's a lot more context there.
But we won't go into all of
Yeah.
that. You want to
So
reserve?
no,
you
go
want to
ahead.
reserve that? No, go ahead.
Well, you can't say the snowplow without saying what it represents.
Well, go ahead. Say that. Go ahead. Say that. Go ahead.
No, it's just that 8s are like snowplows. That basically, so when they have their big, the snowplow on the front, they're basically, if you see them on, the road, 8s can almost like be bumping into cars nonstop, more or less. And so that's why they get their bulldozing. It's just an analogy.
Yeah.
But Malachi was just saying that he doesn't see you like that.
He said he doesn't see me like that.
Because that sounds more gracious, basically. He said he sees you more like what did he say?
I know.
Some kind of bulldozer, but it was, I don't know. He said, I'm not talking just like your normal bulldozer. He said, just plowing through a forest.
And you said it was hilarious. I was laughing so hard. You said that, and if anything gets in my way, I'm going to take a match.
Burn it down.
And burn it down. That was hilarious, which that is true. Like, not just a bulldozer, like a bulldozer. And if something's in front of me, and which he would, it was he would, I know it was good. He was saying good, right?
I don't know about that.
Are we being serious?
He's just saying that you're intense.
That's what. Yes, that's what more like he was saying. Like,
I don't think he's like, oh, that's so great that you'll just go plow through a forest and burn it down as you go.
No. How I took it, what he was saying
I know
is,
how
I'm gonna get the job done. Mm-hmm. Nothing's gonna get. There isn't anything. The only person that's gonna hold me down, I'm gonna tell you right now, that would like say, okay, Mike, I think you need to like hit the brakes, would be my husband and God. Outside of that, I got people to help. I don't got time. I've got people to help. You've got people to help. You've got people to help. And it's like the Bible says, like, we're going to take it by force. Anything that tries to come in our way of reaching where we're going as a family, as you as an individual, you as a, like, we're going to plow it. We're going ahead. And I really believe wholeheartedly that when you are connected to our team, like, this is not being arrogant or braggish or anything like that. But I wholeheartedly believe that when you are connected to the right people, your life can change. When you're connected to the right people. That's why you got to be careful who you disconnect from. You got to be very careful when you get mad or upset and you disconnect. You better be careful what strings you cut. Because you might be you literally might be cutting off your lifeline.
You gotta be careful of who you connect to as well.
Absolutely.
Both ways.
100. Absolutely. Well, the Bible has a lot to say about that. Evil manner or evil communication corrupts good manners. That's why we have to be careful who we surround ourselves with, who that we allow impart to us, who we allow coach us, who we allow to mentor us, who we allow to speak into us. Amen, Sister Micah. That was Sister Micah just there for a second. Anyone add?
Not to that.
How long have we been on here?
50 minutes.
Oh, pretty good. Remember what I said in the beginning? Like, it's going to be like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick clips.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
You've read one slide.
Well, hey, it was good. Don't you think it was good? Do you want to read more?
Oh, I don't care.
You want to read one more? We can read one more. Let me see what I said. You got to get me in there. Wait, you just lost it. Hold on. Oh, okay, yeah. Go on. I wait.
You go back. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where you're at.
I don't either. Okay. Okay. Here it is. Hold on. Let me find which one I want to go with. Some of these are so good. I'm putting together something. I don't want to talk about that. I got to find where we were at.
While you're finding that.
Oh, there we go. I got it. All right. Here's why that we have to be able to commit. And so this is just something that, it's just something that we wrote down a while back. That statistically 50% will fail within the first 2 to 3 years. 50%. So that's why the longer that you stay in business, the longer that you build it the right way, the more that the success is going to be in your favor. It's going to be in. What am I trying to say? Douglas just completely got me all sidetracked, lost my train of thought completely.
What'd he do?
I don't know. He got up.
He said just had to take a quick break.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. So anyway, the longer that your business can be around, the more that you can say, yes, I can commit to this for 5 years. I can give it 5 years. And like you said, have them end goals. Like, okay, I don't like to clean, but within the next year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever that is, I'm going to have an end goal to this. I'm going to have an end.
Realize I got up?
Of course. No, I didn't realize you got up.
I didn't hear what you said. I had to blow my nose. Allergies. Second year.
I know.
Ever.
He called me yesterday and said, do you remember when we were somewhere last year? And I said, yeah. And he said, what is around this time? I said, yeah. He's like, I'm getting, what'd you say? I'm one of those people.
I'm one of those allergy people.
That's what you said. I'm one of those allergy people.
Never in my life.
Did you ever dream?
32 is when it started. That's unreal.
Dallas, you're 33.
32 is when it started.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, did you really forget how old you are?
No, 32 is when it started.
That's right. Yeah, last year. Do you want to add to that? Putting it in like...
You've covered it all.
What is it?
That's what I said. You got to just cut in and cut me off and
What'd you
say...
say? I missed it.
Oh, I was just saying about the committing to 5 years. Putting an
Sutton
end date.
So
Like
you went
set-
back to that again?
Well, I was just saying the statistic, like 50% is going to fail. It's the odds are stacked against the small bit. It really is.
All right.
The odds
Christy,
are stacked against
Christy,
it.
why do you think they fail?
I actually do have that in here. But I don't want to. See, it trips me up. I can't, like, I have to just let it flow.
Okay, well, it is.
I mean,
just
obviously, the most obvious, I'm sure, is financial issues. Would be probably the most obvious.
Or you always say Captain.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, financials for sure.
Planning, budgeting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that there's a few that some people just lose their drive for it as well. But that probably aligns again with the financials because you lose your drive and then.
It's tough.
Do you think part of it's people are afraid to take risk?
As far as what?
Just in the business in general.
Oh yeah, I think
Betting
that
on
yeah,
themselves.
absolutely. I think a majority of people are
Afraid to
take
use,
risks.
afraid to use, a certain amount of money to put towards marketing and things like that to get their name out there.
Well, I mean, we're built in such a culture too that's exactly what we've kind of been molded to do, though, is that we don't really take risk on ourselves. You do the normal. You go to college, you get a job, you go work for, whatever's the safest bet career choice.
The man.
Do you know who you're quoting? She don't know. What'd you say?
I said you're working for the man.
Oh yeah, I thought you said the man.
Well, I know who you're talking about. It's Gary Vee.
No,
What? Who are you talking about?
Robert.
Kiyosaki?
Yeah,
Oh, well, I mean,
that's what he
they're
says.
both
And
the
you, I
man,
know
too.
you. I know you don't know. I
listen to
know that.
anything
Well,
of
Gary
his.
Vee says it too, in
I don't
different
listen to him either.
contexts. But yeah, Robert Kiyosaki
Which
as well.
I
They're both the goat.
We've talked about. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm on board with Gary Vee. But like I said, you sent me. He is I know he's really a kind person. You send me his podcast or whatever it is where it bleeps out all of the words the words that he uses, which it's every other word, just saying, just every other word. Literally every other word. But he's a nice person.
And that's all that matters. His generosity is what's going to matter.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
where his heart was, not what his mouth was saying.
Stay on topic.
I am, because that just told you what I just saw about what you just said. Good. Yes.
Oh, I finished.
Well, yeah, you said that the society teaches you
Yeah.
go to school, go to college, get a
We're-
job.
Do you think this is
retire.
considered a
We're
trade, right?
almost-
This is a trade.
What?
Cleaning.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Some might say no,
I
absolutely
think
not.
most laborious jobs is considered a trade.
To me, it's almost like
Which trades are going to be gone one day because
Well, that's
nobody's telling you that you need learn something.
That's Mike Rowe's big thing, the dirty jobs guy.
Oh yeah, I love
But he
him.
has a whole he does seminars and stuff, going to school and teaching and talking to kids about going to vocational schools. And
Absolutely. Trade
learning a
schools,
trade.
absolutely. Because we just push, get your master's, get your bachelor's, all of these things. And so we think that that's success, but yet the person that has the skill, let's say cleaners or plumbers or what else am I thinking?
well, and
Restaurant owners.
obviously, if your passion is to be a doctor, obviously,
Of
we're not
course.
saying, obviously, we know you have to go to school and you have to get schooling. But the whole point is that we're no longer taught to almost, dig deep in ourselves and figure out what we're made to do.
That's
It's
good.
let's just do the safest route possible.
And what?
And so it's almost ripping us of our God-given identities
There's a
down inside of
politician,
us.
and I'm not even going to say his name or what he is, but there's a politician that was actually speaking on stuff like this that was really good. He was saying essentially when you're 16, 17, 18, those last couple of years of high school is nothing. Because if you can remember, like when a lot of them, they're like filler classes where you're just trying to get the X amount of credit. So if it's like something like, they're like some of the credits are like for study classes and things like that. They're nothing. And he was saying like if the school systems were just bent just a little bit where you could essentially not necessarily graduate, but pretty much graduate at 16, roll right into some form of college and really find out while you're 17 and 18 if college is the thing for you.
Yes.
And then go into a vocational school from there and pick up a trade if college wasn't for you. Because most of the time you're 19, 20 going into college and you drop right out and realize it wasn't for you. So you just wasted 2, 3, 4 years of your life for nothing.
And money.
A lot of money.
Well, and sometimes it's parents' money. And you're not even, like, most of the time, you're not even using what you went to school for. You're not even using it because, like you just said, that's not really what you wanted to do. And so you have this, and that's great. But we also, I
did it.
I know you
I
did.
mean, think about how many things I
know.
did.
I
Welding
know you did.
school,
I know you did.
EMT.
I know. We want him to go there. While
But
you were
what's
trying
funny
to find
is
yourself.
if I would have bounced, if I would have started, because I was in art
know.
and I wanted to go to,
and even Miss James.
Miss James, but Miss A was the one.
She
She wanted me to go
teacher,
she wanted me to go to SAA.
She knew it. Don't you wish you could run into her today?
Because that was exactly it was
And
school of advertising art.
She
And
saw.
that's sure
She knew that.
that was exactly what I went into. And that she was telling me that when I was like 15.
She knew that. Miss James did too. She told me that. How old were you then, Miss James? It's elementary. I mean, I can't remember. 5th grade, maybe.
10.
Maybe Lexi's
No,
age?
it was 4. It was 3rd and 4th. I had her for 3rd and 4th grade.
I
Both.
remember her calling me in for a meeting. She loved you though, but I remember her telling me. She said it would not surprise. I actually have this written down. She said it would not surprise me one bit if when Doug is older that we see him on TV. She said it would not surprise me a bit as somebody that really is, famous. So she knew something in you. Anyway, I want to say this and we're going to close. Because it's funny we're talking about this. Why is it that we don't celebrate the entrepreneurs? Like, we don't. We don't celebrate them. We don't cheer for them. We don't clap for them. What we do is we say, oh, you better be. Because why? Because it's a risk. That's why. And so most people are not risk takers. So when you're coming to somebody and you're this entrepreneur and you have this vision, you can see it, but nobody else can see it. Don't let nobody ever knock you down from what you see. Because we don't celebrate like we'll have parties and we'll have big old graduation parties for somebody who just graduated college, which that's great. I'm not saying that. I'm not opposed to that at all. But why aren't we having and celebrating somebody that says, I'm going to start a business? Like, why aren't we cheering them and like holding their hands up and backing them and supporting them? Why is that? I can't understand that. And that's why I say I am a champion for the entrepreneur. I am a champion for the small business. I will be a voice for the small business. As long as there is a voice in me.
Cool thing, just to interject, that most people probably don't know. I know you know this, but if you start a business and you join your local chamber of commerce, they will do a ribbon cut and usually do a news article of some sort just for a little bit of PR, for free, for nothing.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd throw that out there because most people don't know it, and it's a good thing for
really,
something for free. You were talking about celebration, and I guess that's one way to get it.
But you don't
but I know
see
what you
that.
mean. Socially.
When is the last time You're on Instagram. I know you're not on Facebook. I know you're on Instagram and Facebook. When is the last time that you scrolled and somebody was throwing a party because an entrepreneur decided to launch out and start that business? Have you seen one? Have you? I never have. I have never witnessed a celebration, but I have witnessed all the other things. And I know those are huge accomplishments. I'm not saying that, but also entrepreneurship and starting a business is a huge accomplishment too. And that's a big deal. Whenever you are taking on your own financial freedom, like it's there is no limit to what you can do. And the amount of money that you can make, you cap it. You yourself, you cap it. What do I want to make? You set the limit. Somebody else don't. You do. And that's freedom, man. That is freedom. Freedom. So we need to celebrate. Like I need to just do like I just got a thought. Isn't that good? It's true though. I was thinking about that. I think it was yesterday or the day.
Grape juice and party, huh?
It's so funny you said that. Remind me to tell you a dream I had last night. You're going to crack up because it goes along with that. Yes, Welch's grape juice and live it up. We're going to take a walk and live it up. All right. I've said enough. Good stuff today. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. All right. Well, thank you. You got any more you need to say? We closing? We're done? We shutting it down? We're shutting it down.
Good.
Good?
I'm good.
You can't keep up with I know you can't. I know you can't. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We appreciate it. If you liked this podcast, please do us a favor. Like it. Share it. Am I saying share it?
Yeah, for now.
For now.
Because Facebook just cut podcast out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why?
They're going away with it. I got the email a couple days ago.
Mark, you're making a bad mistake.
Ours are like the people that are already in it to be up for the next few months still, and then they're completely taking it away. So we'll still be able to upload this one, but...
Well, can't they share it on YouTube?
No. Oh. I mean, they can share they can share it. They can share the link. Yeah. And that would be great. Yeah. Most people won't take the time to do that, but that would be awesome. Share the link on your Facebook story or your Instagram stories.
Oh my gosh. Wait a second. Douglas, I got to say this. Oh, Lord. I crack up at myself. So I'm on Twitter now.
Yeah.
I just got on there. Now, I was on there last year. And I did not get off because of what everybody thinks because Twitter went crazy. I'm not saying that because I'm not saying that's why I got on there, but I didn't do anything with it. It was just felt so foreign to me. However, I'm on there now, and you were telling me I need to share something. Do you remember? On Instagram?
Yeah, you want to share your Twitter handle with the entire URL, not just the Twitter handle.
And so I did it completely the wrong way. And he calls me you text me. You're like, dude, not your, you said
you
nobody,
just put the handle.
Nobody is going to do what you like. Nobody's going to follow you with how you just like,
you got to make it simple for people.
You got to put the link
just so they can click it and follow, not go to www.twitter.com/@MicahRace.
Listen, I'm smart at business. I can teach you how to make money. I can teach you how to read your Bible, and I can teach you the word. I can teach you some things about life, but I cannot teach you anything about tech stuff.
In today's world, no. That, and especially with that stuff does not work. People do not have the time to take 5 seconds out of their day to type that out.
Think about what I've been dealing with since she's been helping me with some of our jobber stuff.
Oh, well, half of the jobber stuff is the way it is because she had to go her own way of trying to do it.
Why wouldn't
instead
it
of
fix a lot
listening to
of it?
me from the very beginning.
Yes, but I did fix a lot of
Jesus,
it.
Help me, Lord.
And then I get on there, and then there's 20 of the same job on the same day.
I've been helping her with some things on Jobber. We'll shout Jobber out again.
The good news is Jobber was easy enough for her to use, even though she's
No.
not tech friendly.
I know I'm not, but
Even if she kind of done it a little funky.
it worked. But I've been helping her so she can finish up her next move on joining my team as a certified coach. Okay. All right. Thank you. What? Yep. All right. We got sidetracked again. Like, share, comment, comment, and leave us a review, especially on Apple. Reviews are huge on Apple.
Apple and Spotify, yeah.
Please leave us a review. The more reviews, the more whatever that, all those things, I know it matters. Leave us a review. If you enjoyed this one, especially this one, let us know. We feed off of the feedback. Obviously we do, especially me. My love language is what? Affirmation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, affirmation. All right, many blessings. Until the next time. Bye-bye.